That Fox News alert, former FBI Director James Comey expected to surrender today after being indicted on 2 charges, including obstruction of a congressional proceeding.
Chanley Painter joins us now with all the details. Hi, Chanley.
Hey, Todd and Carly. So the former director of the FBI, James Comey, faces a 2-count indictment, including charges of giving false statements and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. Both alleged crimes relate to Comey's testimony during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing back in 2020, which focused on the investigation into ties between Russia and President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. Comey responded to the indictment in an Instagram video. Watch.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
President Trump reacted to Fox Digital with this quote: "He is a very corrupt person. He was absolutely a terrible man for what this country stood for." Comey placed a cloud over the entire nation, and actually the Russia hoax made it very difficult. It could have caused wars. And in a post to X, Attorney General Pam Bondi writing in part, quote, "No one is above the law. Today's indictment, it reflects this Department of Justice's commitment to holding those who abuse power, positions of power, accountable for misleading the American people. We will follow the facts in this case." And of course, FBI Director Kash Patel posting this in part, quote, "Today, your FBI took another step in its promise of full accountability. For far too long, previous corrupt leadership and their enablers weaponized federal law enforcement. This FBI will confront the problem head on." And Comey is set to be arraigned in October, on October 9th in Alexandria, Virginia. Guys.
All right, Chanley Painter kicking us off. Chanley, thank you. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter. Josh, this was big, if not unexpected. Andrew McCabe says Comey basically authorized him to leak. Comey testified he never authorized the leak. How will prosecutors prove their case in this he said situation?
Well, I think first it's important to understand that we're not talking about something that was factually inaccurate, but something that he said that was factually untrue. And it's a small but important distinction because the latter shows that he was lying. In other words, one of the things they're going to have to prove, and this is not a small task, it's difficult in these perjury types cases, but proving that what he said at the time was untrue, that he knew it was untrue, and proving what somebody knew other than misremembering or being mistaken can sometimes be incredibly difficult, though not impossible. Just, perhaps through the use of conversations that he had before and after testimony, documents, emails, but they're going to have to show that he understood at the time what he's saying was misleading to the inquiry.
So Democrats are responding to this indictment, as you would expect, calling it an attack on the rule of law. It's like they got their talking points, and they've been saying this throughout media over the last 12 hours. Elizabeth Warren posted the following, quote, "Trump demanded Comey be charged. A veteran prosecutor resigned rather than bend the knee. And then Trump handpicked an aide who'd do it anyway. Using the justice system to go after a political opponent is what dictators do. It's Comey today, but it could be anyone tomorrow." Yet despite what Warren says there, and there is an iota of truth to some of the things that she said, definitely not all, how is this an attack on the rule of law, Josh, when at its core, the DOJ is trying to get to the bottom of which one of 2 of the top people at the FBI is lying and which one is telling the truth?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's understandable that you would take a political position like this, but I think it's borderline reckless, but certainly premature at this stage when we don't really know what evidence the Department of Justice has to prove what he knew at that time. I think we allow the case to play itself out. We allow the evidence to reveal itself before we start making statements that this is completely unfounded. If it turns out to be true that he was, in fact, lying, I think we're going to be in a very different position than where we are right now.
Our colleague Andy McCarthy says he doesn't like this case. He says it's really tough to prove perjury. And with regard to the specifics, he basically says the following. A group of selected Trump lawyers couldn't find a case, or at least decided not to prosecute the case. And so he's suspicious that there is, in his words, nothing there, only getting this indictment literally moments before the statute of limitations is over, runs on this case. Your reaction to that analysis by Andy McCarthy?
That's the great thing about our legal system, is that it is not like our political system in that you're going to have to prove it. So, yeah, you can say that one set of lawyers took a look at this and didn't come to the same conclusion. Another set of lawyers took a look at it and came to a different conclusion. But at the end of the day, it's all going to have to be proven out by facts. And my position is allow the facts to play themselves out. We will soon enough understand what the Department of Justice has backing up these charges. And I don't think they took these charges lightly. They knew the ripple effect that this would have, and they're expecting it, and I imagine that they have the goods to back it up.
The case is before a Biden-appointed judge. In the end, does that concern you? And if I'm the prosecutors, do you think I ultimately get a conviction of James Comey?
Again, it's early to tell. The idea of which judge it's in front of, I think they might be concerned as far as what power that judge might have to dismiss charges before they ever see the light of day. I'm hopeful that if there is something here, that goes in front of a jury, and we allow our system, I think the greatest on the planet, to play itself out and let a jury decide. Do they have the evidence to support these charges?
Clearly, the 14 members of the grand jury decided there was enough there to indict. And you said this in your previous answer. That speaks volumes, because it shows that there is stuff that we don't know, because grand jury proceedings are sealed. There is stuff there that ultimately led a grand jury to indict James Comey, albeit right up to the deadline, but they indicted him nonetheless. We will see how this all plays out. Josh Ritter, thank you for your time this morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.